Everybody have their wine glasses. Quiet on the set, darling.
Not a
Quiet
race.
on the set.
I was placed here too, like last.
It's not a race, right?
So the first thing we're going to do when we get started is we're going to wash our canvas. When we wash our canvas, we put 3 primary colors on our canvas. We're going to use yellow, blue, and red. Just a random wash of these 3 colors to an intensity like an Easter egg. And what that does for our painting is, let's say we're painting and we miss a little spot or something. This vibrant color will come through and will make our painting a much richer painting. This is emotionally and psychologically makes you feel like you're further along in your painting.
I'm already tired.
This is our wash brush tonight, the fat brush. This jar is turpenoid. Turpenoid is our medium tonight. Turpenoid is like turpentine, but it's odorless, and it thins our paint. It also cleans our paint from the brush. It can be used to wipe off a mistake in our painting with real paint. So what I'm going to do to find the difference is I tap it into my turpenoid and I brush it. See how that's very gray? That is Prussian blue. It's very gray. No, that's different. See how that's different? This is a cobalt blue.
Oh, cobalt. I have cobalt.
No, you have Prussian.
What? One time, she used me as an example of how a painting doesn't turn out when the artist doesn't listen to the teacher.
Camera, that is way too dark. You're using Prussian. You're using Prussian. We just went over the color.
And I thought, who the heck does she think she is? Seriously, we're friends. I do her hair. Who, even if we weren't friends, who would want to aggravate the hairstylist that makes you look beautiful?
Joel, she's 86. Cut her off, for goodness sakes.
I tried to help her. I'm not the teacher. I'm not that
circles, soft shapes. Soft shapes, circles. Joel is that perpetual bachelor in Santa Barbara.
We're here at the Santa Barbara Yacht Club.
He's been in my class for quite some time.
In my life, things happened, and my ex-wife passed, the mother of my son, Alexander, who is a very successful, brilliant young kid now, young man, and changed things about my life. And now I have pursuing different things. One of the things that came over my mind over the years was the idea of painting, which I had never even tried before. And since several of my friends and their children had learned to paint with Rebecca, I decided to try that. And I had a great time at it. It was actually a lot of fun. My first painting was a bit of a success, we think.
And he's a fantastic painter.
And one of the things that happened in this class is I got to meet Tamara, and we've kind of hooked up here, and we've had a lot of fun together for a long time now.
Oh, God.
There's
always one in the crowd.
We gotta have a little something going.
Somebody drew a sun on Joel's painting, and where did that come from? And there's Tamara, and then they're like 5th graders. I had to pull them apart. I think they were passing notes behind the teacher's back. But I think with Tamara distracting him, we've got trouble. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on those two and make sure they give me their best work.
I sit next to Joel in class and we have so much fun, maybe dabbing with some paint or, you know, kid him about what he's doing on his canvas. And you know, I think he's got some skill around art.
Joel and Tamara sitting in the front row and doing the joust. I can't believe you're sitting there. You're not really supposed to be anywhere near me. And it's kind of like that 3rd grade relationship that's starting to bloom. I like you, but I'm not going to tell you I like you. I'm going to tell you that I don't like you.
And Tamara, after she has a few glasses of wine, she needs to be corralled. So what we do is we have the turpenoid very thin, and we're dabbing it in our little, shh, you're not hearing you, and that's not yours. Put that down, that is teacher's. I'm making blotches on this with my liquid, very liquid paint. Liquid, 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 blotches. And then I'm gonna pass it to my neighbor to do this. Not too intense. I'm gonna now do blue. I take the blue turpenoid, I take the blue paint, I'm gonna do blue, and I'm gonna pass it to my neighbor. Notice how my 2 colors are up to each other, but they're not covering. If I were to have my colors cover the other ones, it turns gray. And that's way too much kin in one splotch.
I try to be the teacher's pet, but it doesn't always work.
Ken, that's too much red. Take the red away from Ken. Ken, give Joel your terpenoid.
I've never even heard that word before.
You know what?
I've been a scientist for almost 20 years and I've never heard the word terpenoid.
So now, over there for Ken. Now, Ken is new. This is the first painting Ken has ever done in his whole life. He's very nervous about it.
I'm looking for all kinds of interesting venues to meet interesting people. And I thought, oh, art, painting, probably girls there.
Ken is antenna man. He is Mr. Scientist. His mind is always thinking way up in the clouds.
Being a scientist and relatively ADHD, can't spell.
He does major antenna work in this world. He's been so nervous to paint, but I think he's gonna do really, really well. But he likes his scotch.
She did let me bring my scotch. And so I would bring some of my boutique scotch, set it up, and of course aid in the libations and the mood of the, the event.
So I'm gonna have to watch that bottle because I see that bottle go down, 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 down. But he's awfully cute, he's really sweet, and he's really sweet to me. So I'm gonna try to get him there with that painting of his.
If I had a teacher like Rebecca when I was growing up, I would have been in class every day.
Now we take a cloth, and I'm gonna use one cloth per color. So I'm using my one cloth, I'm gonna start with my red, and I'm gonna wipe it.
Why is this wrong?
Where's your yellow gonna go?
Wait, no, it's
Where's
right
your yellow?
I see yellow.
Okay.
Here.
Okay, get your yellow in there.
No, watch. You
Okay.
will.
No,
No, not that brush.
that is a blue brush. Where's the yellow terpenoid? You darling. No, it's green.
Where's the yellow?
Now this is where all the fun happens. Right in this room. You thought the dinner was great. You gotta get to the art studio.
And the reason why I came to the class is because there's this girl, Cindy. I've known her for a long time. She's always sitting in front of me, and I wanted her sitting next to me. So during the last class, her name tag got switched, and it ended up next to mine.
Over in the back, I don't know if you noticed, but Jim, he's a local handyman. He has all his tools all the time when he works his jobs. Well, he was working tools on Cindy. He moved Cindy from the middle row to the back row to sit next to him. Well, what the heck? He can't be doing that.
So I come over to Rebecca's class to learn art and paint, and I have so much fun because she always brings the most eligible bachelors in Santa Barbara. I have met so many neat guys. I actually have 3 dates now.
Cindy loves to learn to paint art. Well, she's not gonna learn a darn thing with Jim in the back. He knows better than that, but Jim is the rebel. And I've had to come in and just basically take the brushes out of his hands and say, that is enough for tonight. You can come on back next time, but right now you've done enough damage for tonight.
Rebecca said I had to paint. So what did I do? I painted Wilson. Anyway, Wilson.
That's the deal with Jim. Tamara's got the lava lamp. What else do you have? What supplies are you hoarding? This is a little hoarder.
I'm not a hoarder. I'm nothing.
So after that, we finally have our finished wash. Isn't that great? All right. This is my story. I was divorced and separated about 11 years ago. It was a bad divorce. I thought for sure, though, I would get married in the first couple of years after that. But it did not happen that way. So I'm reinventing my life. I start putting in things, all the things I love, my kids, art, friends, and along the way I developed this little business of the art class, and that has brought all these clean, living, wonderful things into my world. I've met so many new people from this, but I'm still hoping for the love. Where is the love? I'm really thankful. Once in a while, a spark will go off in the studio with one of my art students. And I'm hoping that something might develop for that true, everlasting love. And I am staying positive it will happen for me. So here we have our model. This model is Hendry's Beach. First of all is our horizon. For government purposes tonight, we're just going to use our vine charcoal and pretty much just draw the line. We cannot have a horizon exactly at the middle because it will disturb us. In oil painting, you can't have that. I am putting my horizon slightly above the middle. And remember, we need to have the horizons laser beam straight like you had a level on your painting. Look at the deepest, bluest part of your ocean. And that's a very important angle in our painting, so I want that right.
I feel done.
So the next step is we're gonna flick our canvas. Joel, can you please flick your son? We flick it and we get the extra dirt, we get the extra charcoal off our canvas so our paint's dirty.
Rebecca's the best flicking teacher that I've ever
Flick, flick, flick.
flicking had.
I'm not going to be flicking anywhere else besides in here. Flick, 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 flick.
So the next step is we take our very thin paintbrush, we dip it in our turpenoid, and we put it into our Prussian blue, and we get a very thin line of Prussian blue. So we're gonna keep studying our model and we make it even better. We correct any mistakes we made so it's even better. Get it thinner, because if you make a mistake, you can rub it off with your turpenoid and rag. And we go over what we just drew, except we draw it better. Get that horizon laser beam straight. Good job, class. Awesome. All right, woo!
I'm exhausted.
Pie, banana foster, ice cream.
Here's the chef. Cheers, cheers to John Aspra.
If it's any fresher, it's still in the field. We've been drinking while you've been painting.
All the loud noises. Oh, God. Okay, tell me action. Whose booty calls calling? I think we got a great start on our paintings. So watch us. One, two. Action, Jackson. So we did so much to our first painting. Nope. We got through the beginnings of our very first start and starting the So we did so much to our first painting. We're almost, I'm doing it again. One. So that concludes the first night in the studio. We got through so much of our first starts of our painting. We had a great time, we had a great dinner, and we had a lot of fun. So thank you all for coming and see you next time. I can teach anybody to paint, starting with a blank canvas, a really great French Impressionist painting with the techniques of the old masters. See you soon.